Boos.
Yeah, I think the people caught up on that last remark of Ajax. Thank you for that, Ajax. I'm not angry at all. He said something in Dutch, but I'm not angry. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a good time this Thursday evening. We have a special guest from the Albion Roar podcast. Adi, welcome.
Hi, how you doing? All right.
Yes, all well. Thank you for being here. We have
Pleasure.
a bunch of questions for you, but we'll come to that in a bit. Luke, Sahbi, Ajax, thank you for being on the show. Let's start with Adi. All right, so you're a Brighton fan. Obviously, we're going to talk about Potter at Brighton.
Sure.
First of all, how you became a Brighton fan?
Well, I'm from here. Simple as that.
All right, we're done.
Yeah. So no, I've been following. I'm older than I care to admit these days. But I went to my first. My dad took me to my first game when I was 8 years old, and I've been going ever since, really. And first game was this is going to age me a little bit. It was November the 2nd, 1980. We were away at Arsenal. We lost 2-0. Graham Ricks and Brian McDermott scored the goals for Arsenal. I can tell you both sides. Couldn't tell you who played on the weekend, but I can tell you that one. And a few others since. So basically, it's been a journey. The Brighton have Albion have got one hell of a story. I don't know how aware you guys are of it, but to be where we are now, to even be still in existence after being asset stripped and nearly without a club and being sold down the river, having to play a home game 70 miles, 140-mile round trip in Gillingham for a few years, and then playing in a athletic stadium which is the only place we can get sunstroke and pleurisy at the same time. It was and to get to where we are now, and obviously playing you guys twice in Europe, that's a dream. I mean, if you'd have told us that in 97 when we were like 45 minutes from going out of the league and out of existence, it's incredible, really, to be where we are now. But yeah, I mean, I've been in for the journey, and you don't support the Albion for the glory, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that means that the moments that you guys are now experiencing lately in the last few years, it's even sweeter, right? Because
it's special. It's so special. I mean, it's like I did a theatre show in Amsterdam just before we played you in November, and we sold it out. It's like we did the Amsterdam Comedy Cafe just before the game, and we had some special guests and stuff. It was amazing, and to be able to do that, and to do that in Amsterdam, and have it full of your mates mostly, and like people from Brighton and faces you know and on a nodding acquaintance with. It's really, really special for us, and long may that continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, your story resonates a lot with Alan, who has been on the show last time when we faced you guys, and he said exactly the same thing.
We would. It's the same show,
but of course, it's important to highlight those moments. All right, so let's move on to Graham Potter. I asked the guys to come up with a question. I also will ask the viewers if they have any questions they want to know, something they want to know about the coach when he was at Brighton. They can just ask. I'll pull it up and we will discuss it as well. Let me start as a host with the first question, if that's okay with the panel. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, man. Go ahead.
All right. Good. Look, it's been a few years now. Potter has been out. You guys have De Zerbi, obviously. If you look back at his time at Brighton, how would you characterize his time, like in a nutshell?
I think you can probably do it by explaining just how angry we were when he left. It felt as if somebody had just died when he went. He left with. He'd finally sorted out our goal scoring problems. We'd just beaten Leicester 5-2, which could have and should have been more. And and we were on a crest of a wave and looking forward to the future. And then the London Cowboys came in and took him away from us. I mean, bizarrely, we can actually bookmark it because it was when I say it felt like somebody died, it was the day the Queen died. which was quite surreal. But yeah, he was. I mean, he was up until that point. He was the most successful manager in our history in terms of what he'd achieved in terms of league finishes, and I mean, history like erases the memory a little bit in regards to what happened after that. But I mean, in terms of what he was doing while he was here, it was special, and we really felt that um, we were moving places. We're going in the right direction. I mean, obviously we hadn't qualified for Europe, and we hadn't won. We still haven't won anything. But we were playing some of the best football we'd ever seen. We had a really exciting squad, which we were just starting to see come to fruition. In the recruitment policy at Brighton is I wouldn't quite different to some in the way that we do things. And we were seeing more and more of these youngsters that we were bringing in being bedded in and being given opportunity. And the one thing that Graham Potter does, he makes players better. And that was so the fact that he left and the destination that created a lot of anger. And then when Chelsea came back to us in October and we beat them 4-1. There was a lot of vitriol aimed towards him. There was a lot of anger. He didn't quite understand it. But the fact is, the way if he'd have gone to another club, if he'd have gone to Arsenal, if he'd have gone to Manchester United, if he'd gone to Liverpool, I think we would have said he would go with our blessing. But because he went to that absolute basket case cesspit of a club that has no soul and no morals, then and the fact that he left with more than he came with. He went with his own staff. There was him and Billy and Bjorn, but he also took Bruno, who's a club legend. He's a hero. He took Ben Roberts, who also, who again, another hero, the best goalkeeping coach in Europe. He took him with him, and again, another guy that he played for us, and then they kept on coming back and back and back, and they're still coming back, and it's just we're just fed up of it, really. And so, I mean, the fact that he failed, they're not really a surprise, but that has got nothing to do with him, and it's got nothing to do with his managerial capabilities. It's got everything to do with the club that he went to.
Yeah, I feel a bit of anger. Ajax told me that I was the angry one before we started the show, but I feel a little bit of anger, which I understand. You explained it very well. I will give the panel the time and opportunity to ask you a question as well. Let me go with Sabri first.
Yeah, thanks, Juan, and thank you, AD, for coming to this podcast and answering some of our questions, which is quite important with regards to Potter. For me, it's I have my questions are a bit twofold. The first one is when Potter left to Chelsea, because you already answered was it related to the coaching or the club, but you already mentioned it's Chelsea, and I can relate to that. But assuming Potter will go to Ajax, what do you think the first thing Potter will do with the club?
Well, I'll have a look and see what the players are and who's available to him. Like I said earlier, he's a coach. He's a guy that will come in and he makes players better. Now, if you're wanting overnight success, then get a different manager, because he's a project manager. It doesn't happen overnight. His ideas take some time to gel. Obviously, when you're doing that, the higher up you go, you're doing it with better players with more understanding, perhaps. But it does sometimes take some time to gel. So you need patience. But I think after this season, Ajax have learned what patience actually is. After the start of the season you had, and at least you didn't get relegated. I mean, fifth is okay. It's like in the scheme of things.
Yeah, not in the Eredivisie though. But
look, I mean, we've got there's a fan base called the Dutch Seagulls, and they're all Vitesse fans as well, so they're not very happy.
No,
that's another story. But yeah, I mean, what he'll do, he'll make the players better. He'll make them comfortable. I mean, he's very calm. He doesn't let anyone get too high. Doesn't let anyone get too low. You win together, you lose together, but it just takes time for it to get to gel. And once it does, it'll be a project. He'll see it as that's why it's taking him time to choose what his next destination is. And like I said earlier, when he went to Chelsea, he will have been burnt by that, because I mean, if you only had to look, I mean, his argument was these opportunities don't come around very often. I think for him, they would have come around. And looking at what he does and the fact that he is a project manager, and he will take it and he will build and try and build for not just for the now but for the future, and with the players that he recruits and the players that he brings on, it will be a project, and it will hopefully continue to grow. But by going to Chelsea, a club that has a history of, you lose half a game, you get sacked. They go through managers like confetti, and it was just the wrong club for him to go to. So when he does materialize, and obviously he's been talking to yourselves. Rumors are that Manchester United are interested as well. But he'll pick and choose the next one very, very carefully, because he won't want that to happen again.
I have two follow-up questions just quickly on what you're saying, because otherwise we won't come back to that. First of all, you're saying about the project. He's a project manager. Do you remember, I mean, it's hard to go back and realize stuff, but do you have a moment in which he was coach at Brighton and you thought to yourself, okay, we have something here. This coach is special. How long did it take for you to realize that?
It's hard to pinpoint an exact time. I mean, because there was the style of, we were under Chris Hughton before, which was, the style was very much don't get beat first and then see what you can, and see if you can win second. And Chris, he left with our blessing. It was, he kept us in the league and when we needed to, and just a wonderful, wonderful guy. But Graham came in. The results weren't necessarily the greatest. I mean, he won his first game 3-0 at Watford. That was brilliant. We could see some signs that some players who were not necessarily in the team under Hughton and were perhaps undervalued. We could see that we started to see the value of them, but the results didn't come necessarily. And actually, if you look at that first season under Potter, the finish, we were still under relegation pressure, but the actual performances, that what we were seeing on the pitch, the players that we were seeing on the pitch as well, and the improvement that we were seeing, it left us all very, very excited. And then it was just when he went, it was just we were just, because the problem was always scoring goals. He had this style of play that it was death by 1,000 passes half the time, but with no end product. And you could see he improved the defense, and then he improved the midfield. We'd like to think he was working on the forwards. that was the icing on the cake. And actually, like I said, that last game when we put 5 past Leicester, that was, and for the game before that, we were starting to see it. And then and the fact that we were starting to pick off, we were going to places like Liverpool, and we were going to places like Manchester City and going to Man United, and we, all of a sudden we weren't playing with fear anymore. We were playing on the front foot and believing we could win the game. And that is such a sea change, because a lot of the time you go to these places, particularly for a club like us that we're still developing, we're still establishing ourselves in the top division. It's important to go into those games and to have that no fear attitude, and no, we're not scared of you. In fact, we're going to beat you. It's so refreshing. So putting the results to one side, you could see something was happening. You could see that something special was building. Even when we lost 6 games in a row, which would have most chairmen reaching for the trigger, we hang tight, and then we went and won at Arsenal. So it was it's, you have to keep the faith with it, really.
All right. Sorry, Sabi. I don't know if you have a follow-up question or something you wanted to add.
Yeah, no, just a more additional question on my side before Ajax or Luke can take over. By the way, nice background with that Ajax logo.
It is Brighton as well, and
we did win. Yeah,
It's the flag, right?
yeah, it's the flag.
Yeah. I got a few of them.
Nice, man. My question is more related to his in-game tactics or in-game changes. Like during the game, how is his in-game tactics? Does he have the guts to change certain things, or
Yeah, very much so.
Just quickly on this one. Sorry, because we have a similar question from Jamie.
Oh,
so
okay.
I add it as well. Panel, please ask what main lineup Potter uses and what would be his backup plan. Please go ahead. Sorry.
Graham Potter had a plan A, B, C, D, and E, and often he would use all of them in the same game.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That must have been magic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When I said that he's a coach and he makes play, and the idea is he needs to have players that are tactically flexible, because it could change like that. If he sees something during a game, he would do it. And going back to your question, Sabi, was in regards to like tactical changes. Yeah, I mean, when we were playing through lockdown and the 5 substitutions was in operation, he was probably the only one that used all 5 in every game. So he would see something and try and change it. Didn't always work, but the fact that he was trying to do stuff was pretty good. And
was that usually to alter what's happening on the pitch, or also to bring in fresh legs and keep the fatigue in check?
Yeah, well, obviously with lockdown as well, there was that, and it's a very, very different time. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to most of the games during lockdown because we're a radio show, so we were in the empty stadiums. And it's weird. It's weird because you can hear everything that's going on the pitch. I mean, I learned some new words. I'll tell you, it was not all of them are broadcastable. I can tell you. Adam Lallana, whoa, what a potty mouth.
Great, man.
So tactically very, very sound.
Okay, yeah, because that's something that we really missed this season or last seasons. So that makes me quite enthusiastic. So appreciate it, man. AD, thanks a lot.
Ajax, go ahead.
Yeah, man, so many questions, but I will just ask some during the show. But one thing I do want to know, because what Sahbi asked, I already wanted to ask. How is his like halftime management? Can he turn things around? Because sometimes you have to cope with managers that don't have a great analytic skills, So if they have to alter things at halftime, you do not see it in the second half. But you already answered that a bit. But what I do want to know is I've read and I've heard about Potter that he's quite a nice guy. He doesn't get rattled quickly. You will not see him mad or, in interviews and stuff. How does he cope with that personality in front of a group? Because, he gets
mad.
He does get mad. Okay, because that's important for me. He does have to have a little bit of an edge, because you can be a player manager and keep everybody happy, but sometimes you have to keep them in check also. So I wanted to know how he coped with that at Brighton, and does he have that little edge?
He might look. He does look and act a little bit like a geography teacher, but when he's taken the class off to see some windmills over there, and you got an unruly child disappearing and trying to climb it, he will tell them off in no uncertain terms. He will tell them to get back down on the ground. But he's. I mean, he's got a degree, a master's in emotional intelligence. So that's very important. It's something that he uses. He has been a teacher. Obviously, he's been a professional footballer as well. He played to a relatively high level, and he is. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. The players never really broke ranks and said, "Oh, he completely bollocked us for this, that, and the other," because he's just doing that. He does all of that stuff behind closed doors, and some players need the carrot, some of them need the stick, and he would cope with that. I think some of the issues you might be addressing there is what happened at Chelsea, because I mean, for instance, at Brighton we had a thing we were doing with the fullbacks, where sometimes like someone like Leandro Trossard would be playing like as a wing back and have to track back in the middle of the venue. He was trying to do that with Raheem Sterling, and Raheem Sterling was never going to do that. And he's like, "What you ask me to do that for? I'm Raheem Sterling." So, and there was personalities there. His ideas would have been right, and if he was given time to do it, it would have been fine. But yeah, in regards to managing those big personalities, it's difficult to say because at Brighton we've got a no dickheads policy, and no one will get out of line, because it's if you do, the rest of the team will be down on you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I'm a little bit afraid with those type of managers, that the player power and the players will mistake it for softness. So I'm glad to hear that you told just now that he can be infuriated towards the group and tell them how it is. That it's not only that attitude that you know him from, in the media and in interviews and stuff. So
if you want to see him get angry, just watch the interview with him after Brighton beat Chelsea 4-1.
Okay.
Why are they booing me? Why are they booing me? Why?
Okay.
Short
I
memories.
will. I haven't seen that one. It sounds funny.
He lost it. He was not happy.
Katie, just quickly, also triggered by your answer to Ajax. Did you notice at Brighton noticeably? I know things happen mostly behind closed doors, like you said, but did you see an improvement in group dynamics in the team, in the squad?
Yeah. I mean, I've been supporting this team a long time, right? So it's difficult. The day and age that we live in and where we came from, it's a difficult question to answer, really, because when I first started watching this, and when I was got a little bit older and my late teens, early 20s and onwards, you used to go out and you used to see the clubs and the players out and about, and you used to socialize with them, and you could see the cliques and the friendships amongst them, and you'd see it with your own eyes when they're out and about. But I mean, these days you very rarely have big. I mean, they all do their team bonding stuff, but we don't necessarily will hear about it like the way we used to, or see it, because it's not so much in the public eye anymore. Which is amazing in the days of smartphones and everything. Someone's probably taken a picture or a TikTok or whatever, somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I think we did see something. I mean, he was famous in his time with Ursuland for getting them to do ballet and stuff, and
I read that.
And he got them to do a performance in front of a local school or in the local theatres, and taking players outside of their comfort zone in order to be to build the morale, to build the team around that sort of thing. So I mean, he studied it. It's part of his mentality. It's part of what he's done with every club he's been at. But probably even that basket case up the road from here.
But was there a thought behind that ballet show? Because maybe it was Swan Lake, that they can learn how to flop a bit and make dives and stuff, or it was just a regular performance.
I've seen a few dying swans in my time on the football pitch.
All right, thanks for that. Ajax, do you have any questions, or can we go to Luke? Maybe he can answer.
No, let's go to Luke, because he's been silent for almost 24 minutes. So the floor is yours, Luke.
Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
Got me itching. You got me itching and thinking about Bergwijn and a tutu. So that's not really.
Me too. I was thinking the same.
That's a song, isn't it? Bergwijn and the tutu. Wasn't it by Girls Aloud? I think. But...
Oh, hopefully not, because I've had enough of him, and I think everyone else at Ajax had enough of him. So, he plays like he has a tutu on the pitch anyway. So, but you talk about tactically. He likes everyone to be fluid and be able to do quite a vast majority of things, so he can change in his tactics on the wing. Does he have a preference of players, though? For example, does he show a bias towards players that can run in behind, or does he show a preference of players that can receive defeat? And if he was to come to Ajax, could you see him using one than the other?
more so?
It's difficult. It's really difficult to say because it will change from game to game and from from opposition to opposition. I mean, we started. Because of, again, going back to like the way that Brighton recruit, etc. So we've had the likes of Moises Caicedo went out to Beershot. You had Karim Matoma went to USG. Dennis Undav was at USG, and we had players like all around the world. Alexis was at Boca, and when the players came back, it took him a while to work out how to get the best out of them, and then all of a sudden you've got Karim Matoma in the team, and then you realize, okay, this is how we can attack, this is how we can get in behind. It's just horses for courses. If you've got a player, if you've got particularly fast wing back, say for instance playing against someone like Kyle Walker at Man City, then you would do something to counteract that. So in regards to having favourites, yeah, of course he has. He's a football manager. They've all got favourites. They've all got. There's always going to be a teacher's pet, but it's just how they do it. I mean, Leandro Trossard was very, very close to him. Not so close to De Zerbi. Alexis was really like, well, we all love Alexis. We still do. There are ways of leading a football club, and that's how you do it, Elliot. And hope you're taking note, Moises. And Sanchez. Oh, they both went to the same club. Strange that we're supposed to hate Crystal Palace. This is getting really weird.
London is the same thing, but I think we can. I think we could just put it to the side in a minute because
we're playing them next week, so that'd be nice.
Potter.
Just quickly, there's just news coming in. David Ornstein just tweeted that Potter is not coming to Ajax, so perfect timing for having this interview. Yeah, a lot of people reacted to this. Just in Potter declines Ajax. I just checked it as well. So Tim van Dijn, who's
only for now. Only for now.
So we can just stop. No.
Thanks a lot, AD. Have a nice day.
So much. AD, let me ask you a question. Just quickly on this, because we heard prior to not now knowing that he's not coming, we heard that financial reasons was one of them. The other thing was that we heard, whether it's true or not, was he wanted to be much more involved in the recruitment process. Was he very involved in the recruitment process at Brighton?
No,
do you know?
No, he wasn't at all.
Really?
He wasn't. He wouldn't have been at all.
Okay.
I heard rumors before coming on here that one of the reasons that you wanted him to work with the existing backroom staff, and he has a team that he travels with, that he's been at with every club, apart from the ones he took with him from Brighton. So that was another reason that he might not be interested. I mean, managers turn down clubs all the time, and they change their mind. It's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, when he does materialize again, when he does pop his head up again, he will choose that club carefully because it's got to be the right one, and the circumstances have got to be right because of how we got burned at Chelsea. But yeah, in terms of recruitment, it's all mostly down to we've got a recruitment team. We've got Tony Bloom's algorithm. It's how we find these players. Yeah, there'll be one or two players that would have been scouted by the management team, but if they don't fit into the algorithm, they don't usually come. We gave De Zerbi a couple of players in this summer that were recruited outside of that particular algorithm, and one of those was Mohamed Dahoud. Well, where's he now? He was only here for 6 months, and the other one was Ansu Fati, who is persona non grata at the moment, it seems.
Wow.
All right. So 80. One other question that we have in common, because the Potter thing is now off the table. What do you think about Joel Feldman? You like
Joel? Him? We love Joel. He rescues seagulls from chimneys. He's with oven gloves. It's
wow.
like Joel. He's a really lovely fella. He's part of the makeup here. He's just been an absolutely wonderful signing, and it's not always playing every game at the moment, which I suspect is probably a bit frustrated about at times. But again, we make so many changes at the moment, and we have to keep. And he's had a few injuries, and we have to try and keep people fresh because everyone's a little bit broken. I mean, we're going into the game at the weekend at Newcastle with 9 first choice players out, so ones that would have actually started in that game. So it's a bit frustrating, really. But yeah, Joel's wonderful. He's better than Jurgen Locadia.
Yeah, but he's from the wrong club, man.
Yeah, I know. But don't forget, Chuba Akpom was at the Albion as well, and we hate him. He was absolutely waste of space here.
Yeah, but he's doing quite well at Ajax for the minutes that he got this season. Quite been a pinch hitter for us and scored some goals here and there. He seems to be always in the right spot. That's also a quality. So he wasn't the worst for us this season. One of the maybe better things for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Eddie, final question, I think, because now he's not coming anymore. Potter is not coming, but hypothetically.
Until next week, and then we have the conversation again.
yeah, of course. If that would have been the case, right? If he was still the one coming to Ajax, do you think it would have been a match, Potter and Ajax?
I'm going back to that point. If he felt it was the right club at that particular moment in time, then yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, he'd had a lot of success in Sweden, had some success with Swansea. We took a chance and then gave him the opportunity to do that, and he was continuing to impress. So I can only think that if he's not coming there, then I mean, one thing I can tell you is that the fact that the fact that we were Brighton were in Europe this year, right, and the fact that we played you twice, home and away, and what I can say, I was in the press box at the Amsterdam Arena, and I got lost. I got so horribly lost because normally the press box and the press room are connected. Like you come down one stairs and you're in your press room and you're doing your press conferences and everything else. And it's 7 floors away, and I got so lost. And I was just wandering around, just trying to work out where I was going. But whilst I was doing that, what I got was just a sense of history about the club and about the passion, about the pride in that shirt, and the pride of what you've achieved and hoping to continue to achieve and will do in the future. That is a club where anyone would want to be at if you were given the opportunity, because it is so impressive. And and I was seeing that everywhere. The color splash of red on the black and white photos. It was, and and just everything everywhere. It was so impressive. Apart from the hard house, I wasn't so happy about that. That was a bit weird. You'd lost. Why are you playing hard house everywhere?
It's not my favorite music either, but yeah, it's part of it's part of
it was so yeah. I mean, with that in mind, it should obviously the way the last season went for yourselves, not particularly great, and it was a complete car crash of a season for you lot. But the sense of history there that is there, and there is an opportunity for somebody to come in and see that. And take you back to where you deserve to be, which is right at the very top of the game.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, AD.
Appreciate
Any
it.
final comments, guys, or questions from your side?
No, bad timing with this news coming out, but thank you for your input. Considering Potter. So
he is not at the wheel.
Maybe we'll face each other again, maybe in better times for Ajax. Then we will talk again about our 2 beautiful clubs.
Well, yeah, let's hope so. I mean, it was wonderful. We had a great time. I mean, have you ever seen the Palace in the Dam? Nah, don't think so.
We'll take the Zerbi if you want to get rid of him. we're kind of desperate at this point.
It came close. I think he's quite good at talking himself out of things at the moment. So. But yeah, no, he's basically saying he wants to stay now. So now that all the big jobs have gone, so
we're small time now, aren't we? That's why.
He wanted Barcelona or Liverpool, so Although apparently Man United might come sniffing for him.
Yeah.
But, if that happens, then we'll have someone else lined up as equally as good. So we're not overly concerned, but we just know that we're we're not going to qualify for Europe again this season, which we're really upset about. Disappointing. But there's been quite a lot of negativity in and around the fan base, but a lot of them just lack the perspective. Really, we're on course for the third most successful season in our entire history. So if you think that's a failure, then you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, but you basically stole the heart. He stole the heart of many fans with the type of football that you guys playing. So
yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
If only we could have some players back on the pitch, that would be nice. We could actually play it again.
We have a few good players for you for next season. So just come shop at us.
We do not want Akpom, but anywhere near us ever again.
We have a fantastic left back you can have. He has lovely hair.
Yeah,
one of the best in Europe.
Why are you saying that to me?
Oh man! All right, Eddie, thank you so much again.
You're welcome,
and
guys. Nice to speak to you.
Good luck with the
Nice
remainder
evening,
of the season with the last few games, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks.
No problem. All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right, we're back with the four of us, guys. So no Potter. Initial reaction, Ajax.
Yeah, I had this feeling. I didn't get to talk earlier a lot in the podcast, but I already had the feeling that it wasn't going to happen because it took so long. And when Cruz was coming back, the news about Cruz coming back and Porter would sign shortly after those news messages. And it was dragging on and dragging on and dragging on and dragging on. And usually that's a sign that it's just not happening, So I didn't have a good feeling about it. Not sure if he would have been a fit and would have been a good coach for us. But I'm not surprised that the deal collapsed. So maybe it's for the best. You will never know. But the timing for the podcast, like almost half an hour in, and then the news was the best timing. But we will see who will get the job now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sahbi, how do you feel about this?
I have a mixed feeling, to be honest. I was quite a bit enthusiastic about his potential arrival, but as Ajax said, it was taking so long. Offers, counter offers, then another offer. I mean, it wasn't meant to be, and I don't know who pulled out the plug. It might be
apparently, according to David Ornstein, he was very impressed with Ajax, but he didn't feel that the project at this time at Ajax was the right one for him.
I'm reading the same. Yeah, the project.
So, the thing that I get a little bit with this is also maybe, but that's just speculation from my side, maybe he used the interest of Ajax also to profile himself better towards other clubs.
Likely.
So this could also be a possibility, just maybe he will be more sought after because we're still a big name, and clubs will maybe try to poach him. So
Luke,
I
fully agree. Yeah, look. I know you still have a poster of Knutse above your bed, but
and Xavi.
What?
And Xavi.
And Xavi as well. No, but in all seriousness, the Potter thing, you were not too convinced. I remember you saying like, Potter, it's okay. I'm not very, hype about it. Do you feel the same? Are you like, okay, just go to the next one? Or do you see it as a missed opportunity?
To an extent, yeah. I feel like, he has played in the Champions League, albeit with his spell at Chelsea, which wasn't really considered a success. But he has played in it, and he has got experience in the Premier League. So I feel like all this experience is valuable, especially if you were to go for the Premier League to the Eredivisie. But at the same time, do we want, we're not used to having someone come in and change things just on the whim. Normally with Ajax, you go out, you play the football that got you to the dance in the first place, right? So maybe it's for the best to an extent, where we don't have to try to adapt to something. But at the same time, who else do we get? So it's kind of like we're desperate for a coach. He has the experience. Who do we get now? So
yeah. So
yeah, that's a good question, right? Because if I'm being honest, I'm not seeing Erik ten Hag coming back.
Yeah,
It
so
wouldn't.
we have a question here.
Farioli, right?
Yeah, we have a question from Data. He's saying, what do you think about another candidate, Farioli, who has been mentioned as the second one? If Potter doesn't work out, we go for him. Any thoughts about him? The coach of Nice, right?
I don't know anything about him.
I've seen some of the statistics, and a lot of the results are just 2-1s or 1-0s. So I can't say I've watched them, but if a lot of their results are 1-0s or 2-1s, are they struggling to score goals? Do they not play attacking football? Do they just not have the players to score the goals? It's a bit up in the air. We don't really know much about him, do we? So,
what do you think, Sahbi? Farioli?
Yeah, I mean, I only watched some summaries from the game, but only from the last games, not from way back. Especially when his name came forward as a potential coach. And I read, of course, the background which came from one of the biggest football newspapers here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
It was quite okay, but as Luc said, not a lot of goals have been scored. But I mean, in France, not a lot of goals are being scored either way. But from Nice perspective, it's quite low. I think they scored 35 goals this season or 36. With 31 games being played. Although
how many did they concede?
They don't concede a lot of goals.
25 to 26.
They are defensively sound, right?
Look,
that's one of those things that I liked, because the build-up from the back was looking good. And that's the thing that I really liked. But the scoring opportunities that they create wasn't that much, wasn't that great as well. So I'm a bit like, I'm not saying just like many. Like
can we label him as a defensive coach then?
No, I don't think so.
I think you can label him as a realistic coach.
Maybe so. But look, just to be clear, also for the ones watching us, we don't know Farioli that well. Let's be clear about that. In my situation, I've seen Nice early in the season when they were still top of the league. I saw 2 or 3 games of Nice, and I don't know if this is how he plays usually, but he's very controlling. He likes to control the game. Not very adventurous in terms of
especially from the back.
Yes,
In the build-up.
So the build-up is good, etc., but it's not very adventurous going up front. And that's something that it was a bit boring for me to say. I'm not gonna, I don't want to be critical towards Frank de Boer, but it gave me Frank de Boer vibes a little bit.
Oh, hell no.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have some statistics. So 31 games, 36 goals scored, 25 conceded. So they get about 53.1% possession. They've kept 16 clean sheets this season. So it sounds like it's more of a keep the ball so we can't concede type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So 31 games played, 36 goals scored.
And next to that, the thing that bothers me, well, bother is of course a big word, but I think the profile from Ajax, from Cruz, was we are searching for an experienced coach, right? A dominant, experienced coach. But if you look at this profile of Farioli, we're talking about a coach who was a coach for 100 games, approximately 110 games, combined with France, 1/3 in France for Nice, and then in Turkey, the remaining 60 games. I don't see that as an experienced coach.
Let me park this for a bit because I will come back to this. Just a couple of people reacting to us about the discussion about Farioli. I just want to pull it up so we can see everything as well. So let's see. Quarantine is saying Nice wasn't the best attack, but clearly defensively they were solid. He really made a change on the team. So Farioli, basically. Yeah, Durenko in the chat as well. Big up. He's saying Farioli is attacking. And Quarantine is saying he's a De Zerbi student, still a young coach, so can only improve. FC Lawrence is saying Farioli loves to play with a high press, defensively the best in the League One, or League 1, I should say, and should be scoring more goals. His style of play suits us. He likes to lure in the other team and play under the press. So break out of the press, basically.
Okay.
And he's also reacting. He's not defending. He wants possession, attracts opponents, pressing, then explode. So it's a mix. People agreeing with that. And then let's see. Yadorenko saying Farioli is still a very young coach.
Play the youth.
Lawrence is saying, let's be real, other than Potter, what experienced manager is on the market right now that would actually be a good fit for us? And then BRN is saying the same, basically, they lure the opponent in and try to bypass the press with short passes. And then last comment, Pelle is also here. He's saying the rigid conservative structure implemented by Farioli has been Nice's weaknesses with the lack of freedom and initiative in possession, stifling the attacking potential with the side. So he has a slightly different view. Go ahead, please.
I'm just more interested in the XG this season because
goals.
Because they might not score goals, but it can be because of the lack of quality strikers. But if they create chances, I mean that's a different cookie.
Wow, it's Louis van Gaal in the building.
Hey, sharp.
Hey, but you know what's the horror scenario for me?
Tell me.
I got this feeling that we will chase managers, and one guy's head is popping up in the crowd every time I see a match. That's Pascal Janssen. No, Pascal Janssen also. And that we end up with Pascal Janssen or something, and that would be horrible in my opinion, because that's not very experienced coach for me. I'm not very convinced he will do the job, or if Frank de Boer coming back. Hopefully, my view is wrong about that, but I do not have fond memories about his style of play, but he did quite well, of course, with all the titles he won.
Yeah.
So it's getting a little bit upsetting for me, what's the plan? Also, this Farioli, is he the prime candidate now?
Yeah. So listen, this is what I thought you would say. Pelle is reading my mind. The Boer has entered the chat. Corentin, you're obviously, I think you mentioned you're from a French supporter of you. I saw an earlier comment. I'd rather have Farioli than Pascal Janssen, obviously, I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, you can react to this, and also to you guys. Nice is a rich club, right? They have a rich owner. Why would they accept Farioli to come to Ajax?
He still has a 1-year contract. So
he wants a new adventure then.
And if he wants to have a new bigger role at a bigger club, why not? So
would Ajax ever look at I know we spoke about it before, would they ever look at Thiago Motta instead?
Yeah, but we spoke about that earlier, and I think Sahbi already commented on that. He's out of reach for us.
Yeah, it's like the Zerbi. We're talking about the Juventus that wants him, the AC Milan, etc. So of course they can try, just like they tried with Xavi. You never know.
He's a Bologna, so still now.
You know. Let me one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, and also the people watching right now, is that the only thing that worries me a little bit, and I know they're not lining up, and we don't have like a dozen of coaches we can choose from, apparently. But when you seek or look for a coach, in search of a coach, you have a kind of a profile, right? A coach that you want, ideally. And I feel like going from Potter to Farioli seems not at the same, the same type of coaches. It seems like we're going from one to another type.
Yeah. No,
am I right, or am I missing something here?
No, I from that extent, I agree with you. Yeah,
I think you're right about that, and you have to also question our recruitment, because we've often blamed players of choosing the wrong club to continue their career, not fitting their play style, etc. But it's the same with us, what kind of coach do we want? And if there's such a difference between the two coaches, are we really scouting what is necessary for our club to thrive? Because with Farioli and with Potter, it seems like they're just looking at coaches who do well at their clubs or maybe overperform. but do they really fit the style that Ajax plays?
That word haunts me.
Don't want to hear the overperform thing.
The
Yeah,
word
you should overperform and people start laughing.
It reminds me of
Sorry. No, but you understand what I mean, right?
Of course,
They,
of course.
No, I fully understand.
But that they do well at their clubs. But those clubs aren't like the same type of club or the same type of style that we play. So it isn't always a fit. And I do not want a coach coming here learning certain stuff. I want them to be a value for us immediately that can implement the style that we are known for and that can help us back on track.
Exactly. No, exactly, Ajax. And what I want to add is, do we want to take, as a club, a risk with an inexperienced coach? I mean, he can have that profile. He might fit at Ajax. I don't know, because I don't know him that well. But do we need to take that risk from club's perspective? Because we lost already 2 years, if not even more. And we lost value. We lost players. We lost the Champions League. We need this upcoming year. We need to do well. Otherwise, we will only decline from there on. So the one that we will choose,
you can afford that.
as a
You
coach,
can't afford making a mistake again.
Exactly. So do you want to take that risk, the chance to get an inexperienced coach, which might suit us? So it might be something that can be an add value, but if you take that risk, it's going to be a huge one. So I would not be fond of that, to be honest.
But it's a difficult a difficult group that you have to find, certain profile of managers, because within Holland, you don't have like that experienced manager that will suit our club, or unless you come into the category of Ron Jans or something, like a little bit more experienced manager, a lot of clubs, but it isn't a fit in my opinion. And in the foreign countries, in other competitions, maybe those kind of managers are difficult to get for Ajax. So you will be in a certain situation that you look at attractive coaches that are young still or that want to take the next step. So it's the same with huge talents. They come to Ajax to improve and maybe move on to an even bigger club,
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to find that profile kind of manager. And in hindsight, not because PSV became champions, but we mentioned it before he went to PSV. Not getting Bos was a big mistake because he was kind of that kind of manager that fits the profile a bit. He knows the club and is experienced, and try to find another manager now. And people will maybe start hoping, maybe Ten Hag gets sacked and comes back to Ajax. I think that's not going to happen, and it will waste more time and more time and more time, and it will just drag on. But what kind of manager does fit the profile? It isn't easy to find in the current situation.
Let me go to the comments quickly, guys. Corentin is saying we need to stop focus on Dutch coaches. Foreign coaches are now the new way. We need to modernize in our way of seeing our club and team. BRN is saying, maybe reacting to you also, Sahbi, no risk, no reward, Sahbi. Stein, Schroeder, and them were supposed to be safe, between parentheses or something.
No, Stein wasn't safe for me, to be honest.
No. Yeah, and
also from my perspective, not.
I did have high hopes for Schroeder in the beginning. I'm being honest. I thought it would be a good fit, but that was a big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah,
so he was also led to believe it was good because 5 games in, scoring loads of goals.
But not only that, I've heard great stories about him and his contribution as an assistant in the days that we were doing well. But once more, it's a different thing to be the skipper as being an assistant. So please go for somebody with experience because this cannot have that again.
Corentin is saying, I think Corentin is being paid by the agent of Farioli. That's a feeling I have. But all right. At least Farioli coached in the top 5 league and did very good until all the injuries. All right. He's clearly following the league much more than we do. So
I think we need to following on for the conversation.
Yeah, about that remark that the 4 managers are the way to go. You could defer from that opinion, because Arne Slot is now going to Liverpool. Ten Hag is still and has been for 2 years at Manchester United, 2 big clubs in England. So Dutch managers are looking good. And although Ten Hag is having a hard time, what he did up until now, also with cup performances and stuff, with the situation that he went in there, I don't think it's that bad, you know. I think just they are expecting more than this in the possibility of that group. But I think Dutch managers are looking good at the moment. So I'm not saying I know the next hot thing from our country, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a foreign coach. I'm not saying that's the way to go. I think you should broaden your perspective and look at it. But I'm not saying Dutch coaches aren't working anymore. That's not. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Christian is saying, I've said it multiple times before, but for me, Michael Reisiger is an ideal candidate. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he should have gotten the chance before Hattinga did.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He actually proved it also at Ajax, you know. So.
Yeah. But we can all agree that this has to be settled quickly. We have to have a new coach before the summer starts.
Yes.
And we have to have good assistants, not iPad guy anymore or this Greek semi-god that's always on the couch. You know, we have to have people like a Bogarde, and that is for me. That's for me even more important. You know, we always talk about the Ajax DNA and stuff, about coaches and stuff, but you have to have solid assistants that know the way of Ajax, you know, and can just instill certain traits within those players. And with the Bogarde, you know that he has that. But all those other guys, the iPad guy and the Greek guy and stuff, where did you get where do you get those guys? Is it at the Lidl or something? What the fuck?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Lidl, man. Just
iPad guy, man.
All right.
All right.
Well, listen, let's move topics.
It's one game against an amateur team. Yeah, he lost the game.
Yeah, so
I don't know who's worse, him or that iPad guy. He was also horrible guy.
We're laughing at our own pain. All right, that's good. BRN is saying after this week it should be more clear. Let's hope so. Let's see how things go.
Well, it depends. After the news of today, I don't know.
We'll see. Guys, let's move to the next topic. Actually, there has been a lot of pictures being circling around on social media lately regarding our new kit for next year. Basically, if it's true, of course, we never know 100%.
It usually is, right?
I'm sorry?
It usually is.
Yeah, most of the times they are. Footy Headlines showed the kits for next season. We've also put it on the YouTube channel, so you guys can have a look quickly. But just your reaction. Luke, let me go with you first. Will you be buying those?
I wouldn't even be looking at it. I didn't even look at. I deleted the picture of the WhatsApp group. I think it's horrible. I hate kids that are like, come on. This is nice and black. It's just one color. I hate these ones that are dark with a bunch of yellow everywhere. And for me, not for me.
I disagree a bit, huh? I disagree a bit. I think the home kit looks okay, quite well, but I dislike the away kit a lot.
I
hate it, and to make it even worse, it's a horrible kit, and then yellow socks. What the fuck? Seriously,
looks like lemonade.
Can it be even worse?
Like lemonade.
But I'm being honest here. I've looked at that third kit. It's looking sweet, man. I like it. I like the white one, the third one.
White one, yeah.
With the three crosses, I like it. I'm probably going to buy that one.
Maybe
the first one that's it's got like things here.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's got like maroon or something.
You shared a picture with three on it. The home kit, you know, that horrible blue with yellow socks away kit, and then the third kit it's a little bit whitish or
white with like you did see it. Yeah?
It's light, and you see three crosses. Faded.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm sure I like that one, man.
So nice. I wasn't about the away kit. I should have said it clearer.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sahbi, your opinion?
No, the away kit is hideous, man. It looks like one of my kids colored that shirt. It's like it's crazy.
Finger paints, just finger paints.
Yeah, like with your hands and all this. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. I can't imagine Adidas created such a shirt. Yeah. No words for it, man. I hope
it's like one made it.
I apologize, but I saw somebody tweet. An Ajax fan, I believe, he tweeted this week or last week about why is it so hard not to have like fans or supporters or people send in their own version of a kit.
I saw some great ones.
Yeah, and we've seen some others that are not traditional or the ones that we will do or we will wear next season, But sometimes you see like new designs and stuff, and you're like, "Wow, this is amazing." Why doesn't Ajax do something like that?
Did you see that green one? There was like a green version. Oh, I loved it.
You know what I just would love? Just like getting back to like the era that our home kit was just recognizable and just the way it is, that's so beautiful already. Just put the old logo on, and even if you have to give a tribute kind of away kit instead of this horrible one, go back to the ABN AMRO one with the green.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That one was very nice. Why not do a tribute kind of away kit and just try to make it the same but with another sponsor on it? Why not?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Why does it have to be so difficult and has to be always a little bit slightly different or unique? Just go with
what a bit works. Far away from our tradition, basically. Yeah, exactly. I understand what you mean. All right. Let's move on. One other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I mentioned this to you, Luke. We talked about it briefly after the game with Volendam that we won last Sunday. Look, it was a good game in the sense that it was a solid game. We won comfortably at the end, but we still saw 2 mistakes by Sutalo, even against Volendam, one of the weakest side in the Eredivisie this season. And this is not the first time. We've seen it a couple of times this season already, and we know some players, they manage themselves well at Ajax early. Some have or need more time. My question to you is, all of you, all 3 of you, and also the people watching, where do you stand in terms of Sutalo at the moment? I mean, the season is almost over. He's our biggest signing last summer. Do you think, like, with a better coach, he will become better? The classic, argument? Or do you guys think, like, maybe this is not it?
Best scenario for me.
Why? Why is that, Ajax?
Just sell him. Hopefully break even, because he's not it for us, man. Seriously.
But why? Why do you say that?
Because I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I don't see the confidence. He's making mistake after mistake after mistake. He's just not it for me. If I'm seeing Kaplan and he has made a few mistakes also, I can just see certain traits that he has that Sutalo hasn't. He just always looks so calm that he doesn't care. And, the way he looks on the pitch, he doesn't have the confidence. At least with Kaplan, I see some poise, trying to fight for it and even cheering when he does something well, Sutalo is always like this. It's almost a flat line. It doesn't matter if he does something right or if he makes a mistake. No emotions. It's not for me, man. I just hope we can sell him and reinvest the money with proper choices this time, because the biggest mistakes also in the beginning was getting him in and already labeling him. Oh no, he's a good player. He will be ready. He will be an improvement immediately. Remember that they even gave him the armband in one of his first matches because the other captains weren't available. It's just bad scouting for me, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Sabi, where do you stand in terms of Sutalo?
For me, it depends. If you can sell him for a good price, break even a little bit less, sell him, because we don't want to take the risk that his value would decline more and more.
Yeah.
But if the market is stating that he is worth only 10 million, for example, then I would definitely keep him and give him the benefit of the doubt, although there's not a lot of benefit, to be honest. But we need to take into account that he came in at a very, very poor Ajax. He came in as a player who was still young, came from a country in Croatia, and probably didn't have that. He's probably that intro. He has that introvert. Character indeed. So he needs to adapt on it as well. So in my view, he was already way too expensive for me when you look at his profile. But can he still do good? I think so, but we need to have the right coach for him. I mean, Ajax, you mentioned Kaplan. Indeed, I fully agree with you. The only difference is Kaplan was there a bit earlier, so he had the time to
Yeah,
adapt,
but he had injuries and stuff.
etc. So that might be something. I'm
But
not saying
only that
that's
first
it.
that first game already that he played, and he was at Young Ajax a while, getting fit again with his injury. I saw more from Kaplan in that first game getting back into
Fully
the
agree.
pitch,
Fully agree.
the team, than I've seen from Sutalo the whole season. And I'm just not. I just don't want a scenario. Even if you lose 5 million on him or stuff, I don't want to have the scenario again that we loan him out and loan him out
No,
again,
no,
and
no,
it's
no. That would not
declining
be
each
an option.
season and declining even more, like a Magayan kind of,
No,
you know.
no, that would not be an option for
But
me.
what I think is even worse is the Avila signing. That
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
what did he
Yeah.
cost? Like 15 or 16 million?
Yeah.
No,
That
not
is
that much.
this
but
But the
is
thing
even
is,
more.
but the thing is with Avia
12.
Ajax, I agree with you, but Avia hasn't had the same amount of playing time
No, but
as
that guy
Sutalo.
is
No,
really is
No, I
horrible.
understand, and we overpaid for him. But I'm trying to say that we haven't given him like a couple of games in a
Yeah.
row to see him and assess him fairly. That's what I'm trying to say. And Sutalo, we've seen the whole season. Let's be
I
honest.
just hope that as a group of players that we have to offload, and as the total sum, the lump sum that we paid for it, as a group, hopefully we just can break even. If you lose something on a certain player and can make a little profit on another one, for example, an Akpom, if we even want to sell him, I think I've read some news about him that he's quite good profile for English clubs because he's homegrown and he's doing well. So they are interested in him. Now they usually pay a lot of money, English clubs for players. So hopefully, if you can sell him for a great sum and you can compensate maybe a little bit of loss with Sutalo, and you can just offload players to like rebuild properly with better players, I just sign for it, man.
All right, Luke, your opinion quickly on Šutalo. Maybe again. I asked you the same question.
No, I think we can make something good of him. Yeah, I've seen worse players become better under certain coaches, and I feel like under a coach that is actually knows how to coach, and actually knows how they want their team to play, I think he become better. Absolutely. I think, you've paid that much money. There obviously was some talent there in the first place that just made us want to sign him. I think he become better under the right coach.
Let's just hope that Croatia goes to the semis or something at the Euros, and that he plays a lot and just plays very well in a different kind of team with a different kind of tactics. Then the clubs will be all over him.
Quickly on this topic, just a couple of comments. BRN is saying, I think our best games were with Sutalo actually at Hato playing in the center, PSV at home and away first half, and Brighton away. Gio is very clear. He's saying sell Šutalo and get an experienced defender, which makes Hato and Kaplan better players. And also BRN is saying, can we remember Alvarez, Martinez in the first couple of games when they were just signed, at Ajax?
I already saw that they were good players even then. I think at this channel, especially with Alvarez, we've been backing him for a long, long time. At least I was, and I think others within the group also. Also, when he didn't play that much. And Martinez, the talent was there. And also different positions that he had to play, first on the midfield and going back a line. So totally different situation than Sutalo. Also a different team to defend Sutalo a bit. A better team and a better cohesion between the players. So easier to gel in, but different standards, man, for me.
Yeah.
And also different ceiling also.
To be fair, I think what he meant with Alvarez is when he was bought, he was the one who should have replaced De Ligt. So he started at the center back, which he was not that great, and then he moved to the midfield position, and that's where he started to play better and better. I think that's what probably what they meant with the comment.
Bad scouting.
Yeah.
Among others.
Pierre is also in the chat. Good to have you, Pierre. Pierre is very clear on his comment about Šutalo. He's saying, youth development has always been a big part of our philosophy. Let's give guys like Šutalo the chance to develop under a competent coach. And then he follows with the next comment. He really isn't that bad as people make him out to be. Better in the duels than Hato. Intercepts more balls than Hato, and his passing accuracy is only slightly lower, 92.5% versus 91.6%.
Yeah. What is the ratio?
These stats, I'm a bit surprised because in my ratio,
what's the ratio of mistakes made between the both players? Because those stats don't tell me anything. If you have a Frank de Boertje every time, every match, or two in a match,
people that don't know what that means.
Frank de Boertje means he's a decent player, but he always makes one crucial mistake in a match, not always leading to a goal, but was dubbed a Frank de Boertje back in when he was playing
like
at Ajax.
Like a Veld manager.
Yeah.
Veld had it too, actually, when he was at Ajax. Yeah. Bjorn is complimenting you, Sahbi. Well explained. So, yeah.
About?
I'm sorry?
About
Alvarez.
Yeah.
No, but what I don't understand is why does Sutalo play that well within the Croatian national side, but at Ajax he is
because it's easy because the team is playing together for a long time there. There's a certain cohesion between players, and we are just like a foreign legion. No cohesion anymore. No players that have the Ajax DNA and can instill certain things with the new players coming in. We even have to go abroad to find a leader in Henderson to instill certain things also off the pitch and within the squad. So that's the big difference. Do you think if you go to Croatia with Modric and stuff?
No, but then to back him up a little bit, just to be like someone who can be behind Sutalo is. So we can't blame Sutalo on his own of his bad performance because the whole team is bad. And just like Luke said, maybe if we get a proper coach and we got proper signings with Cruz as technical director, we might get some good players. Hopefully, he might thrive. And
the problem only
we don't know. We don't know.
The problem only with this, Sahbi, I'm hoping for this also, but we do not have the room and time next season for him to learn as a first 11 player to get better. We need a certain standard next season to be there within the squad. And that's difficult for him to thrive if, in my opinion, he isn't a first 11 player because Kaplan and Hato are miles ahead of him in my book at the moment.
But that's what I meant. Like if his value would decrease that much, I would still give him that chance. But if he would still have that 20 million value, I would say don't take the risk, sell him, and then start all over. So it depends on what the market is asking for him.
Yeah, Luke, you're playing with your beard, but I need you here for a minute.
I'm listening. I was listening.
No, I know. I'm joking. Listen, Paris actually making this comment. I want you to react to this as well. He's saying his playing ability, his ball playing ability, isn't anywhere near the level of Hato's, but he really isn't that bad defensively. So I also wanted to add to that because when you guys were talking Ajax and Sabi, I was thinking he's a classic example maybe, but we're not sure that maybe we're asking too much from him. We're asking him to do stuff that he's maybe not.
It's the price one.
He's a classic example of bad scouting. If you know that you need certain players with certain traits that you are known for at Ajax, building up the play, passing ability, why are you getting a player that defensively is also making mistakes, but that's apparently is one of his better traits, defensively, but can't pass the ball? It's not only him, it's also with Bessie the season before. What are they scouting on?
Yeah.
No, I agree. And it's also
can Luke answer the question just quickly because Luke is not talking. Just quickly, let Luke just answer. Do you agree with Ajax basically?
Yeah, I fully agree. You've got a club with the history that we have and the type of players you've had over the years. Why wouldn't you scout these players that are able to pass the ball and things like that? And I feel like Mislintat for a while always wanted to be known as that guy, diamond eyes, that can pull a hat out of a rabbit and be like, look what player I found, just like Brighton do with their players, right? And I feel like he bought them knowing that if they perform, great. If they don't, do you know what I mean? It's the Eredivisie; they'll get by anyway because they should be of the quality of the league. The thing is with Sutalo is when he brings the ball forward, I like the idea that he has, but he can never execute it. That's the issue I have. Yeah, and there's always like he tries to turn in the wrong time or the wrong place, or maybe.
But is it the thing that I always wonder about many players, whether it's at Ajax or other players, is when they make a mistake or whether they're not. You have a sense that they're not at their full potential, or they play somewhere else much better than at your own club or something. Is it quality or is it confidence? Which is it, or is it both?
For me, I think the mentality part. It's the confidence mentality part. But to get back to the first question, I think it's the reason why we are so criticizing him is also the expectations that we have for a player that has cost us almost 25 million euros. So
he's also on the side of Wrench as well, and he's played with Guy, and he's played with Wrench, and he's played with in a back three, and it doesn't help that as well. He's changed all over as well.
Yeah,
different people around him.
Talking about players that haven't lived up to their full potential. With Wrench, for example, I do see potential still in him, and in a better side, and him growing a little bit, getting a little bit older. I think he can be of value for us. He's not been the best during the seasons, also, but with him, I do see certain potential, and I do not see it with Sutalo.
Yeah, yes and no. Because for
they make the same mistake sometimes.
The only difference is this is what the third season of Wrench now.
Yeah, but he's been injured
even more, and he has the youth academy, so it's
a lot.
Yeah. All right. Just adding Pierre because he's still reacting to you guys. So just final one about this topic. Wrench, Hato, and the coach haven't been a great help either. He was fantastic at Zagreb. I think it will be a mistake to let him go so soon. At least let him play the preseason games for next season.
Hopefully, great Euro.
Yeah, exactly. So if I understand correctly, basically in the summary, in a nutshell, Luc and Sahbi, you guys still have the feeling like with a better coach, he might be better. But Sahbi, you're putting a footnote like, okay, if we have a chance to sell him for more or less break even, let's do that. But otherwise, keep him. Ajax is more on the side.
But with the same note, not selling him for 5 million. That's just common sense.
I understand.
No, but not with a loss.
We do not have the luxury to just give him another season and let him grow and try to hope that he will improve. Rather have a little bit of loss or a break even or whatever, and just sign a better player that fits our style, not somebody that has to learn everything still, passing wise.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm just wondering if we can keep him. I mean, we have Kaplan, we have Hato. Both, in my view, are really central defenders. And then we have Sutalo. Sutalo is 24. The other ones are much younger. You understand what I mean? So he's supposedly the guy that's supposed to be the experienced player.
Yeah,
and he's also our top signing.
But with these talents, with getting players from abroad that you cannot find within our own country, and you go shop abroad and you pay a big sum for them, at least they should have a certain quality and talent that we cannot find within our own country.
Sure.
And this is not it for me. Okay. So same with an Anthony and stuff. You pay a lot of money from him. He's coming from abroad, and you could see that he has certain quality that we could not find at that moment within our own country. But you can also ask yourself what's happening with the scouting within our own country. Because when was the last time that we bought players from within our own league, from different teams, that succeeded at our own club? For example, look at Reinders going to Milan. Why aren't we scouting those type of players? Why aren't we getting those type of players in?
Well, there were rumors about Reinders with Ajax, although I don't know if it was true, yes or no. But there was a link.
Yeah, I think he meant Reinders from where he came first, and not Azet, because Azet would ask like 20 million.
Yeah, but let's be honest, guys. When he went to Milan, I don't think anyone expected him to be that good at Milan. Let's be honest. Even you, Sahbi. Even you.
No, I didn't expect he would become a starter, but eventually.
Do you have someone from this season, Sahbi, that you say this is one that we should get?
Yeah,
the guy from
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Signed.
Sorry.
The Vitesse player.
You mean the Musa Al-Hajj?
Yes.
Yeah, I was impressed with him when he was.
You wanted him. Yeah.
Yeah. In our WhatsApp group, I mean, when I saw him playing, I thought this is like the player that we seek, one that can dribble, that can dribble out any opponent, and he might lose 1 or 2 or 3 times the ball, but he keeps on trying.
But that's a good situation for us because they need money, right?
No, but he is already.
He's
gone.
I don't know. To Feyenoord for
he's
a couple
going
of
to
million.
Feyenoord.
2 million, 3 million. So it was a.
I'm not aware of the current situation, man. So,
yeah,
but
that's
what
okay.
What about that guy from Excelsior?
Which guy from Excelsior?
Yeah, you mean that the winger, the left winger, probably goes to PSV because Lozano will go, will leave, and then he might go to PSV, I guess.
All right. All right, guys. Just quickly, Millennial saying, Ajax, I was shouting Rangers from AZ. I did one. Okay, we believe you. We believe you. No worries. All right, guys, final topic. We have the final home game of the season against Almere, A-Town, Almere City. So my question is, what are your expectations? We know Bergwijn is back, your favorite player. So what do you guys expect? Do you guys expect it to become like this like roller coaster again, or you guys think like, no, we're gonna just finish the season strong?
If we cannot finish the season 5th with this these fixtures that we're having left, you know, Almere also already avoid relegation, so they're safe. We were very unlucky at our home game, I believe, with the penalty in the last seconds. Wasn't that which mistake was it by the guy from Roma, right? Tahirovic, I believe.
When we played away.
So we should have won that also, but I do not think that Almere will be a problem, hopefully. But the remainder of the matches of the 2 other teams is much harder. So we should easily become 5th.
Yeah, because as they say, and they say it's breathing down our neck.
Yeah, but they have difficult fixture still. They have Feyenoord, right?
They play against Feyenoord indeed, and
but Feyenoord is not playing for anything anymore. Do you think you're going?
But Almere isn't playing for anything as well. They survived the Eredivisie. They won't get relegated, so they're relieved. They will come to the arena just to play ball.
They're probably a little bit drunk still, so should be evenly matched. Should be evenly matched.
Apparently, they want to help NEC. If you look at their tweets, because they helped each other, they thanked each other because NEC made sure that Almere stayed in the Eredivisie because they won from Heracles or Excelsior, I don't know.
Heracles.
And now they want to give them a favor back by
but they
don't some points from us.
The deal with Maduro isn't already finalized, right?
No, not yet. So
they won Maduro, right? So.
Luc, what do you think of the upcoming game, Almere City home, last home game?
I expect to win. Do I think we'll win? Probably. Will it be a smooth ride?
What will the score be? The score. I want to hear a score prediction, guys. Let's go.
I think 3-1.
3-1?
It will be one of those games where Almere will just be rubbish and will look good but won't play good, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. A bit similar to Volendam?
Yeah.
Ajax? Yeah. Prediction?
I am going with 5-1.
Nice. Rahbi?
I'm going to be a bit shocking, but I think we'll keep a clean sheet. So I'll say 3-0.
Wow. Jantje.
That will be great.
Jantje, indeed.
That will be great.
Last home game. So,
just last comment, or almost the last comment. I see one other comment popping in. Pierre is saying we should get Smets as a backup. A lovely ball-playing center-back from Belgium. Also provides Gods with a buddy. Pierre, I really think, I mean, if any Ajax, person who's working at Ajax or anyone affiliated with Ajax is watching the stream, they should give you a call and they should hire you. I really think so.
Talent seeker.
Talent seeker. Pierre is an Ajax scout. Fully agree, Christian.
Diamond eyes. He's the real Mislintat.
He's the real.
He's a real diamond eyes.
He's the real diamond eye right there. Then he's saying, Carvel is saying, Alex Pastoor is also a good head coach, I think. Ooh, I don't think he's Ajax caliber though. But all right.
He's kind of caliber because apparently they're interested.
Didn't he study a long time under Van Gaal? Pastoor?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Sorry.
Maybe at AZ or I don't know.
Sorry, what did you say?
I think Pastoor, didn't he study a long time under Van Gaal? Like, learned a lot from him?
I don't know. Could be.
So.
I'm not sure about that. Okay, so guys, 2 more things and then we're done. We're done with the show for today. Dutchy is reacting. I don't know if he's up to speed or whether he's still reacting to a previous talk we had, but just bringing it up right now so he can check it later. Ajax DNA van het schip Heitinga de Boer. No Ajax football. Ten Hag, Bos, Ajax football. Stop it with the Ajax DNA. We need a manager who actually has a plan. Yeah. Fully agree.
Yeah, it's all about not per se the head coach Ajax DNA, but the assistant coach around him with Ajax DNA. Just like Ajax said, with what do you call? By the way, as an assistant, I forgot the name, but I mentioned Kifu. So yeah, we need some Ajax man.
All right.
Oh, iPad man. You meant that?
No.
Oh.
All right, guys. Quickly, this one was already commented a while back, but it was interesting also for me when I read it today. I think today I read it. So Christian is saying, any response from you guys about the rumor or basically about the news that Atletico Madrid has Mika Tatso on their shortlist? He has attracted attention.
I am not surprised. If you look at his stats since he moved to Ligue 1, I believe he already has 11 or 12 goals and a lot of assists in half the season. It's very high up the ladder. They were last when he came, I believe, in the league. Now they are avoiding or fighting against relegation, are able to avoid still. But I'm worried that Mets, if they stay in, that they just
activate the clause.
Activate the clause.
Of course they will.
And just sell him for even more to Atletico Madrid.
Great business by Ajax. Very good. Yeah. Sahbi, are you surprised when you read that?
No, because he really fits Atletico Madrid with his playing style. 2 strikers up front. He doesn't fit the 3 like a 4-3-3 system. He plays with 2, just like at Mets. And I think he would do quite well there. So my assumption is he will go there.
Surely Luke was a bit surprised when he caught that news, or not?
About Mikatadze?
Yeah.
No, really. They love those kind of players. They did it with Griezmann's, a small player, likes to score goals. They've had Aguero, they've had Felix. It's all the same type of player. They like it, and someone that would just do the job. Simeone knows what he wants, and they wouldn't target a player if they knew it wouldn't fit.
The more
Is it just quickly? Is it like just bad luck a little bit as well, or is it also what you're saying, Sahbi? Is it because he doesn't match our playing style, or is it also bad luck because he has to fight against Brobbey? He's not going to win that.
He's definitely not going to win that. But the bad luck from his side is he was played in different positions. The position that didn't suit him. Left winger, attacking midfielder, I don't know, maybe even a right winger. He's a striker, and he even is used to playing in a 2-striker system at Mets.
Yeah.
And now, so it doesn't add up. And Mislintat already said, like, he's a talent. He's a great player, so that's why he bought him. So not per se for the system, but more like this was an opportunity that we could not let go. So, yeah, I mean, the reasons might be different, but the player itself, I still have confidence in him, to be honest.
Yeah, the more worrisome thing actually is what I've read about and heard about from him about the way he's treated when he was at Ajax.
Yeah.
I've heard it from other players in the past also. Plus, nobody checking up on him when he's there during his loan spell. So why would he come back to Ajax even when?
Well, I think that ship has failed. Yeah.
He's not even want to come.
It's baffling to hear the system that we do not apparently have at our club to help and support foreign players, young players, just coming here and just having to do it on our own in a hotel.
Only Brazilians, Ajax. Only Brazilians.
Yeah, only Wamberto, or who's helping? Wamberto, right?
Yeah, Roberto helping out.
Yeah.
He helped out Anthony. He helped out Neres, etc.
Yeah. All right.
Too bad.
Any final thoughts or comments from either one of you?
Just
No?
happy the season's almost over.
Yeah,
One,
man.
just happy.
All right. Luke, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Sahbi, Ajax, you too. Both of you, thank you so much. Everybody that tuned in today, thank you as well. Thank you for your comments, for your contribution. We're almost there, guys. 5th spot. We can smell it. Let's also...
And let's just hope Aston Villa will win tonight, because they were 4-2 down, and they're now playing at Olympiacos.
They're 1-0 down. So
1-0 down already.
Yeah.
Just forget. I know where you're going with this. You want
because if they win,
the
Conference League,
yeah,
and we will be in 5th, and we do not have to play preliminary rounds for the Europa League.
Yeah, we get in the group stage indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Just quickly, just yes or no. That's it. BRN, what would you guys think if Ajax ended up taking Roger Smith?
No.
Ajax?
He's doing well at Benfica. So
no, it's not doing well.
But
not so good anymore. Not so good anymore.
He did well at Benfica.
Yeah.
This is where you can notice that I do not watch a lot of those leagues. So don't ask me like French questions and Portuguese questions. But no, man, for me, not really fond of his mentality.
I can't say I followed him that much, so I don't have an opinion.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. See you next time. We'll be back on Sunday with the game against Almere City. And for now, bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice evening.
Bye.